Hi, my name is Victoria Gonzalez, and this is for my extra credit AP assignment. Today I'm going to be talking about the Americas, which include the Mexica, the Incas, and societies and civilizations in the North America. First, we're going to start off with the political state of the Aztecs. The Aztecs had a monarchy where they had a primary emperor or king as their ruler. They believed in divine right. Divine right is where people believe that God gave total right to the ruler. The Aztecs maintained authority by growing their conquest and also spreading fear throughout the people. The Aztecs grew into a strong military where they controlled a lot of people, and the Aztecs did not have a type of currency. They used trade and agriculture. Their trade system was set up by trading things like crops, food, animals, and different types of important stuff. The Aztecs grew to be extremely strong throughout their community. Through trade and taxation, the Aztecs grew to be very strong economically. Aztecs had very strong cultural beliefs. They believed in over 200 deities, mixed with men and women, that they believed controlled agriculture, weather, war, etc. The Aztecs were primarily polytheist, which means they believed in more than one god. The Aztecs' society depended on a person's social position. Most of the Aztec civilization were part of the commoners, or farmers. The society revolved around warfare, religion, agriculture, and trade. Another thing under cultural and social for the Aztecs were sports, board games, and dancing, and human sacrifice. There were 6 social classes in the Aztec community: rulers, warriors, nobility, priests and priestesses, free, poor, slave servants, and the middle class. The Aztec civilization was very large geographically. The Aztecs ruled in the middle and the southern parts of Mexico. They were the strongest during the 15th and the 16th century. The Aztec people called their land Semanahuac because it was surrounded by the Pacific Ocean, the Gulf of Mexico, and the Caribbean Sea. Here are the 3 cities where the major Aztec civilizations thrived. Moving on to religion, the Aztecs believed in many deities and gods. Their religion was focused around gods of weather, war, agricultural, etc. Again, they believed in over 200 deities, which is a lot. Here's an overall view of them. Moving on to interactions with other tribes around them, the Aztecs were usually despised or feared by other native tribes. For example, the Aztecs were very strong militarily, therefore they would scare surrounding tribes, which made them unlikable. A weird fact is that the Aztecs were very comfortable around each other. They were well-mannered and respected among each other, but they just could not get along with surrounding tribes. For the Aztecs, under their king, they formed a war alliance with 2 other city-states and defeated another native tribe in 1428. This victory led to an alliance between these 3 city-states, which ultimately led to the formation of the Mexica. 3 factors that led to the rise of the Aztec Empire was religion, the economy, and the social political organization. They were very successful in their agricultural, political, and economic state, which made them grow really quickly and led to the overall success. The peak of the Aztec Empire was in 1528. Factors that led to the downfall of the Aztec Empire were disease and the advanced weaponry of the Spanish conquistadors. The Spanish conquistadors were very successful compared to the tribes in the Americas. A very common disease that was spread among the tribes was smallpox, and since they were never introduced to this, they did not have a strong enough immune system to survive. Millions of tribes died, and this ultimately led to the fall of the Aztecs. Moving on to the Incan society, they were very advanced and very smart when forming their economic and political systems. The Incas did not have a currency system, but they had a very successful and well-organized economy. That's what I meant to say. The Inca civilization was very much agricultural, and they used trade to trade among their city-states. The political structure of the Incas was very complex and very controlled. Their empire was divided into 4 quarters, and this word that I cannot pronounce means land of the 4 quarters. A very interesting fact about how the Incans chose their leader was through the leader's natural talents. He did not have to be one of the firstborn sons, but he could have been, a brother. If you're picking up what I'm putting down. In order to maintain political power, they imposed their religion, administration, and even art on conquered people. Moving on to cultural for the Incas, they had a very nice and unique structure. The Incas were located in the mountains, which is weird to me personally because of how would they build their houses and how would they live on the mountains. They actually built roads, platforms, and stepped terraces for agriculture on the sides of the mountains. The social system of the Incas consisted of the Sapa Inca, royalty, nobles, and comunes. Moving on to the geography of the Incas, their territory covered most of the modern-day Peru, Ecuador, and part of Colombia. Their landscape featured open valleys, deep canyons, coastal valleys, and deserts, and they also had mountains. The Incan Empire was located on the western side of South America, which included mountains, rainforest, and desert. The Incan people were also polytheists. They worshipped many gods rather than one deity. They also believed in multiple gods and deities who could control natural elements like the sun, moon, droughts, and earthquakes. And the Incas believed strongly in an afterlife. The Incans also sacrificed people, specifically children. They believed that some children were the descendants of the sun god. Actually, a 15-year-old Incan girl who's preserved in a museum. Her name is Momia Juanita, also known as the Lady of Empato, and she's a well-preserved frozen body of a girl who was killed as a human sacrifice to the Incan gods somewhere between 1440 and 1480, and she was approximately 12 to 15 years old. The Incans treated their dead in mummy-type-like ways. They put the dead body in a fetal position and wrapped in leather or cloth and placed in baskets or under huge ceramic jars. The Incas actually never communicated with the Aztecs or the Mayans. They did not venture as far as north as Mesoamerica, which is honestly very interesting to me because you realize that these civilizations, as big as they are, they never realized that other civilizations were surrounding them. Isn't that just crazy? The first Incan ruler triggered a series of conquests. He expanded the Incan territory and established a centralized government, which led to a very successful civilization known as the Incan Empire. The Incas were very successful because they were able to touch and monitor any corner of their territories. They wouldn't be attacked, they wouldn't be threatened, and they were able to live peacefully. The growth of military strength and diplomacy of their emperors led to the growth of the Incan Empire. Unfortunately, the Spanish reached the Incan Empire and led to the downfall. The internal unrest and the bold tactics of the Spanish and the capture of the Incan's emperor led to the downfall. In 1572, the Spanish captured and executed the last Incan emperor, who was Tupac Amaru, and the Incan Empire was officially defeated. The leader of the Spanish was Francisco Pizarro. He arrived in Peru with a small amount of men who only wanted treasure. But unfortunately, with the superior weapons of the Spanish and the unwell immune systems of the Incans, they clashed together and the Incan Empire fell apart. And the disease that wiped out the Incan Empire was smallpox.